Hello and good day to all of you. Today, we will be discussing the short play Andre's Mother by Terrence McNally. Before we start, for those of you who haven't read the text of the play, I advise you to do so as this video is heavy with spoilers. You have been warned. This video will analyze three things. Number 1, society's treatments towards gay characters in the play. Number 2, the resurfacing of homophobia at the time of this play. And number 3, the link between Andre and Hamlet. This analysis is done through the lens of queer theory. In the play Andre's Mother, the gay characters are not given the treatment they deserve as a human being in the society. Some of them are rejected by society, and even worse, disowned from their own families for portraying something different than the accepted heterosexual ideas in the heteronormative world. This can be seen when Cal described their city as a city of fugitives from our parents' scorn or heartbreak, with the term our representing the LGBTQ community. The majority of them are forced to stay in the closet and play a gender performance, where they pretend to conform to the heteronormative masculine ideals when facing the non-homosexuals. In time, this causes them to lose themselves as quoted in the play, as the inability to be true to themselves slowly eats them up from the inside. Hence, it can be safely inferred that in the play, the society treated the homosexuals badly. After the AIDS epidemic broke out, homophobic ideas resurfaced due to the fingers pointed to the gay community for spreading the disease. Before this event, the LGBTQ community were well on their way on getting the acknowledgement that they deserve. They have barely started to openly fight for their rights in June 28, 1969, in a series of riots that would later be called the Stonewall Riots. Later on in 1973, the American Psychiatric Association had just recently removed homosexuality from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Their voices was beginning to be recognized. However, all this ended up being wasted as homophobic tendencies resurfaced stronger than ever. It is argued that this is due to the misinformation on how AIDS was spread, hence creating a stigma against homosexual men at the time. Terrence McNally, the playwright, wrote Andre's Mother in an attempt to break the misconception that AIDS is a gay disease, as Cal, Andre's lover, has been tested negative despite being a gay man. Thus, it can be observed that homophobic tendencies resurfaced at the time of this play due to the outbreak of the AIDS epidemic. The character Andre has been said to have an obsession with playing the role Hamlet. The reason to this might lie in the character Hamlet himself. Hamlet knows the identity of his father's killer. However, he was unsure of what to do with said knowledge. The same goes to Andre. He is sure of his sexual identity as he was in a stable relationship with Cal. What he was unsure of was that whether he should wear his identity out in the public or conceal it, keep it within the knowledge of himself and his community only. That could be the reason why Andre seems to be fixated on Hamlet, because Hamlet's famous soliloquy, "to be or not to be," speaks out to him and his situation. In the end, he has made a decision. He chose to keep putting out a gender performance to the public and to his mother and stay in the closet. He chose to survive rather than risk being in a world where he is perceived as abnormal, as a freak, for being attracted to his own gender, for something that he has no control on. Therefore, the way Andre sees himself and his situation in Hamlet is what feeds his obsession on playing the role, making it one of his greatest dreams. To conclude, the society's treatments towards the LGBT community was unfortunately negative. Homophobia reappeared during the 1980s due to the AIDS outbreak, and Andre's ability to relate his situation to Hamlet's links him to the character. Ending this video on a positive note, this play became a beacon of hope for the LGBTQ community when nobody else was listening. When the society keeps closing their ears, refuse to listen, to reason. Thanks to this play and other activists, people are more educated on the HIV virus, allowing the gay community to move on and gain more acceptance in their life. That is all from me. Thank you for watching.